We're going to hear from Arqam and Serge from the Challenge Fund for Youth Employment, how they're using AMP Impact for grants management. Now, one of the things Ifar touched on was really just the diversity of AMP customers and adopters. We've got UN agencies, we've got international and humanitarian NGOs, we've got some grant makers as well. So we're trying to reflect that diversity in the spotlights that we're going to hear today. And Arqam and Serge, I think you guys are going to present from your screen, so I'll stop sharing. If we've got you guys ready to go, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, Zach. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. So Serge and I are going to talk about how we have tried to innovate as a challenge fund, as a program, moving away from being a traditional grants making program to actually making results and impact at the center of what we do. And also trying to innovate and iterate and adapt in the countries that we operate in. So rather than diving into the introduction of what the Challenge Fund is, Serge and I thought that it would be best to actually talk about one of the entities, grantees who we call implementing partners who we work with, and just use that as an example of setting the stage for the demonstration that Serge is going to do. Next slide, Serge. So Healthy Entrepreneurs is a really innovative social enterprise that is based out of East Africa. Their operating model is that they have a large network running into thousands of young individuals who they train to be community health workers. These are self-employed part-time workers who are spread across East Africa. And what they do is that they have essentially established 3 different categories or trajectories for providing employment opportunities to these youth. So, I mean, in addition, so elements and services such like very basic health services to infectious diseases to non-communicable diseases. So these youth are being trained to provide basic services and also basic medicine to the population in East Africa. So Healthy Entrepreneurs applied to the Challenge Fund a couple of years back, both in Uganda and Kenya, with an objective of supporting around 16,000 employment opportunities. The way the Challenge Fund operates is that we don't take on the full investment, so we co-invest in whatever interventions are being taken. So the Challenge Fund went ahead and invested close to 2 million euros in this initiatives. So when it comes to results management, so 16,000 youth being created across 2 countries over a period of the project lifetime is a difficult it's a difficult task, or it's a difficult endeavor for us to undertake. The way the Challenge Fund operates is that we actually work with Healthy Entrepreneurs and other implementing partners to lay out exactly what is going to be produced in terms of outputs and how those outputs are actually going to lead to the changes that we want to achieve. So those are the outcomes and the outputs. The entire contract value is dispersed or is actually tied with these outputs and outcomes. And these are spread across the lifetime of the program, which is typically 3 years. And the Challenge Fund processes payments on a quarterly basis. So you can imagine that on a yearly basis, on a quarterly basis, we have dozens of payments that we are making, which are tied to whatever results that are being put forward by the implementing partner. And now the complexity doesn't really end here. So in addition to quarterly and yearly payments that are tied with these outputs and outcomes, we really want to be driven by the results that are being achieved by our implementing partners. So to give you an example, if an output is that Healthy Entrepreneurs is going to get 100 euros for training 100 entrepreneurs in the field, if they deliver training to less than 50 entrepreneurs, they're not going to get anything. If they're trained between 50 and 70 entrepreneurs, whatever the number is, they'll get an equivalent amount of money as a disbursement. And if, let's say, they're able to train more than 70 entrepreneurs, they'll get the full payment. So bottom line being that in addition to the timing of the payments and them being tied to the results, there are also payment thresholds that are tied to whatever results are being achieved by our implementing partner. So Healthy Entrepreneurs is effectively just one of the example of the implementing partners we work with. So imagine the scale at which we are operating. We are operating or working with close to 100 such projects spread over 23 countries and dispersing grants and technical assistance that totals more than 115 million euros. So the project itself, or the fund itself, is being sponsored by the Dutch government and is led by the Palladium Group, which is one of the leading management consulting firms with offices in over 80 countries. Without further ado, I'll hand over to Serge, who will actually walk you through the demonstration of AMP itself and also show you in terms of how we're managing the system. Over to you, Serge.
Hi, everyone. I'm Serge Ramadi. I am Data and Informatics Manager with CFYE. So I'm just going to walk you through very quickly how this works for us. As Arqam mentioned, we are expecting to manage upwards of 100 projects in 23 different countries. What this translates into in reality is that in a given quarter, we have to process 300 different results-based disbursements through 15 portfolio managers and 5 or 6 approvers centrally. That is a lot of payments and a lot of results to go over. And we are really keen on ensuring that this is done properly, accurately, and that we don't actually make any mistakes as it happens. There is a lot of room for error if this is done manually. And this is what AMP Impact lets us do. So what we've done is we've based this on the AMP Impact project object and using the reporting periods that AMP Impact generates. What we do is I'll go through one of our partners over here in year 1 Q4. Our reporting period for us acts as a container for just about everything that the partner expects and that the partner reports. When we contract the project, we schedule our reporting periods, and within those periods, we schedule everything from indicators, targets, results that we expect, in other words, and disbursements against those results. So ahead of time, a partner knows exactly what they've committed to and what we've committed to them. An example in this one, year 1 Q4 for this particular partner. If you have a look at this record very quickly, you'll see, the regular details, where their payments request is, but more importantly, you'll see below that they have 5 disbursements scheduled. What we also do, before I go into how the disbursements work, is we rely on the AMP Impact Manage Results feature. And this is the key to how we link results to payments. What we do is we actually use the Excel extracts. Partners have access to a specialized portal through which they receive this Excel extract, they report the results, they send them back to our portfolio manager, who does quality assurance and verification of the results, and then uploads them into the system. When this is uploaded into the system, it triggers a cascade of results measurement, basically, and approvals across our team. So how does this look for a specific disbursement? Because of the complexity of the way we want to pay, because of this results-based management approach, we use 3 different categories of disbursements, categories A, B, and C. A is simple reporting disbursements, but B and C are more complex output and outcome disbursements. And this involves a lot of calculations and a lot of, as I said, room for error, points where the process can break. So in reality, what happens is, as a result, as a disbursement is scheduled, and then as a result comes in, we've customized AMP Impact so that there's a 2-way sort of dialogue between the results module and the disbursements object. And you'll see here for this category C payment, which reflects outcomes, it actually, so when you log into the record itself, you'll first be faced with the basic information, approval history, etc. But more importantly, what our portfolio managers see is this results section. And this collates everything that comes in from the results that our IPs are reporting, or our partners are reporting. And it matches it against the target, and it gives them an exact achievement rate and recommends a payment amount. It eliminates all the thinking that our portfolio managers need to do and automates the calculations both for achievements and for payments, so that we're not having to go around and chase results and see exactly what we need to pay manually. It's all being done by AMP Impact. When a relationship manager or portfolio manager reviews a payment, verifies that it needs to go through to approval, it does exactly that. And once it's approved by our team, it is paid. So you'll see over here, this disbursement had a target of 170. It actually is collating 3 different indicators to give us a result of 149, an achievement rate of 87.65, and a full payment that they've qualified for. This has required no thought from anyone on the team. The system is doing the thinking. So you can imagine this can scale to thousands of payments if we need to, and as much as we want, without having a human make any mistakes. And so this is how we're using AMP Impact. In fact, we have all our verification documents for an individual disbursement, all scheduled values, and there's a few complex things happening where if a payment is missed, and a partner can actually qualify for it in an upcoming quarter. So without taking up much more of your time, what I want to say is that we're really leveraging the functionality that comes with Salesforce and AMP Impact to facilitate a results-based payment approach that is a pillar of our results-based management style. Eventually, the last thing I want to show, as this process is happening, as results are coming in, as payments are being processed by our team and verified and dispersed, this then feeds into a set of dashboards. We have tied our Salesforce and AMP Impact to a Power BI platform. Our philosophy is that we need to be analyzing all the data that we have. We should not be collecting anything if it's not something that we can analyze and use toward better management or informing our partners or what have you. So at the first screen, this is just a projection of our basic portfolio, jobs, etc. What I want to show you is the second page, which is over here, the payment milestones or disbursements. Because this is all being done by the system, because it's all automated and streamlined, what we're able to do is have a live analysis of our disbursements, both scheduled and actuals. We're able to see what we're supposed to be paying against, what we have actually paid, where things are missing, where things are falling behind, and in fact, even drill down to specific countries and specific projects. So all sorts of fun little things that we're able to do to inform our management team centrally and to also inform our portfolio managers. The whole process is linked together through AMP Impact, automated and done in a way that we're able to do something a bit more sophisticated, a bit more advanced than you would be able to do with a traditional system. I think I may have gone a little bit over time. I get a bit overexcited, but thank you very much for listening.